Hello, my name's Mackenzie and welcome to the Weight Control Café. Firstly, I want to talk to you about what healthy actually means. So healthy isn't just the absence of disease, but a state of complete physical, mental, spiritual and social well-being. So that's what we want to try and achieve, to have a good, healthy lifestyle, not just now, but way into our old age. So as we get older, we're still fit and healthy to be able to enjoy our retirement. So the ethos behind the Weight Control Café is that it's not a diet, but it's a change of lifestyle and habits which look at a holistic approach to your well-being. We look at what challenges you have to a healthier you, what motivates you and makes you feel good about yourself, how you feel about food and why you eat more than you need to sometimes, and what the triggers are that sabotage your good, healthy approach. So when you've got that healthy head on, what causes you sometimes to maybe have the best intentions and then that gets sabotaged? So what those triggers are. We look at ways to approach a better healthy lifestyle for now, and as I mentioned earlier, for the future too. Also tricks and tips to stay on track. It's an approach which is for you, and you decide how you want to set your goals, how you want to use the Weight Control Café to get the best results for you. So it's very person-centered. The key areas that we're covering, I'm going to go over that in just a second, but the key things that we do in the class is a 40-minute multi-level fitness class, which means that you can work at the pace that is comfortable for you. It looks at burning up energy and looks at you working as hard or as little as you want to. So if you're think, oh, maybe I'm not so fit, then that doesn't matter because you work at the level that is comfortable for you. And as you get fitter, then you can increase that level. The 20 minutes is a discussion, advice and support group. And I'll explain a little bit more about that discussion in a minute. Also, you'll have access to the free area on the website. So if I show you where that is, if we have the drop down here, and it's this area here. So the cafe client area. So we're going to go to that in just a minute. So let's click on this area. And within here, you can see now we've got, these are the key areas of the Weight Control Café. So we've got planning, motivation, self-esteem, fitness and exercise, diet and nutrition, mindfulness and well-being, and socializing. So there, as I mentioned earlier, all the key areas that make up that holistic approach to well-being and health and fitness. So if we have a little look at the drop down in here, these blue links mean that you can go to, it'll open it up in a new tab, and you can have a look at these documents and you can use any of these documents. And it's totally up to you which ones you use and how you want to use them. So we've got, for instance, a nutrition diary where you might want to log what you're eating and what exercise you're doing. You could do that as well if you wanted to. But this looks mainly at the nutrition. So you can keep a check of what you've eaten, because sometimes we're not quite aware of how much we eat sometimes because we're not mindful of what we're eating. There's a sheet that looks at setting your SMART goals, so specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timely. So by looking at that, it means that you can then be a little bit more aware of what you're doing and how you're doing that. So you set the targets and then you think about what those targets are and how you're going to achieve them. And then you're more likely, by thinking about the targets, actually to achieve them. Then we've got the weight monitoring. If you wish to use the scales and monitor your weight, then there's a chart that you can use there. There's a healthy monitoring chart too, which looks that you can set your blood pressure. You can look at monitoring your blood pressure, your pulse, because those changes to those two things could mean that you're getting fitter and healthier. So they're a good indication of your internal health. Also, you might find that you want to measure yourself, because that shows that sometimes you might not necessarily lose a huge amount on the scales, but you might find that you're losing inches off your body. So that might be a way of you doing it. Also, you can monitor by trying on some clothes that you wanted to get into, or taking a photograph of yourself and then taking another one a month later. So there are different tracking systems that you can use to monitor and get your SMART goals, to achieve those. Then we've got the other areas we've got I'm going to go into the diet and nutrition. So within here, there's lots of documents and lots of information, but also I've got links to websites. We could put up recipes for you and say, yes, these are the recipes that you should use, but we're aware that everyone's, so for instance, you might be vegetarian, you might be vegan, you might have specific things that you prefer eating as opposed to other things. So we've suggested these websites to have a look at, and then within those you can join those websites, and then you can save your own recipes. So you build that up yourself, and that's something then you'll have forever. So the other areas that we've got within here, I'm not going to go into those right now because you can have a little look at those yourself. But what I want to emphasize is that you use this site, and we'll be adding information to this as time goes on, and you tell us the kind of things that you want information on, and then we can build up that database of information for you. The other thing that we've got is the Weight Control Cafe Facebook page. So if you want to go to that, and within that I put on links, and sometimes I'll put up recipes, sometimes I'll put up something that I've cooked and share what worked well for me, and we can chat about different things. If you've got any questions, if you need any help, then pop it onto that page, and the idea being that that's an online discussion and a support group for everyone. So please do join the Weight Control Cafe Facebook group as well. So that's what's going to be happening for the Weight Control Cafe, and this is the website that you can use. There's a login for this, so there's a password that you need to put into this, and we're going to change that password each month, so you'll get a new password each month to put in, and then away you go and use the resources, enjoy the classes, and I look forward to seeing you